Okay, we've done day 1, day 2, day 3. Today we're on day 4. For this day, you're going to be doing day 4, homework 4. You're going to be doing the lesson, homework 4, and you're going to be completing quiz 7. But you're only going to be doing a few of those problems. You're not going to be doing all of them. So you need to listen to the video so that you know exactly what you're going to do. So day 4 is dividing. You're going to be dividing polynomials by a monomial. And what that means is you're still going to be using the quotient rule that we learned for our variables. So when you have two variables, you subtract the top one from the bottom one. So it'd be like x, a minus b, when your a is on top. So make sure that you divide each term. And you divide your whole numbers like normal, but you're going to divide every term on the bottom with every term on the top. You know how you were factoring before and using the full method? Well, you have to make sure that you divide this one, and you divide this one. So you make sure you divide both numbers by 4, by your denominator. So let's read this. To divide a polynomial by a monomial, divide each term in the numerator by the term in the denominator. For exponents, recall the quotient rule. Quotient rule is subtract your exponents. So let's look at the first one. 8n squared divided by 4n would be, and then you're going to subtract 36n divided by 4n. So when you look at this, 4 divided by 8 is 2. N, 2 minus 1 would be just n. And then subtract 4 divided into 36 is 9. N is 1 minus 1, which is n. So we see that it is 0. 0. So 0, it just becomes a 1. So 9 times 1 is 9. So 2n minus 9 is your answer. That looks like a plus sign, and it's supposed to be a minus sign. Here, you take your 7y squared, x squared y, and divide it into 14. So you have 7 divided by negative 14 is negative 2. Take your x squared, x, 12 minus 2, y, 5 minus 2, okay, plus 1, x, 2 minus 2, y, 2 minus 2. Then let's divide it out. So negative 2, x to the 12 minus 2 is 10. And then you have y, 5 minus 2, which is 3, plus 1, because this is 0 and this is 0. So you do not put x or y because it becomes a 1. So your final answer is negative 2x to the 10th, y to the 3rd, plus 1. Let's look at some examples here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to divide. So the first thing you're going to do is divide and use the quotient rule for your exponents. And then you're going to divide every term. And that's and if you just follow those steps, you're going to be able to do this lesson. So let's look at the first one. In this one right here, you see 3 divided into 6 is 3, and the x stays the same. Plus 3 divided into 9 is 3. So your final answer is, sorry, not 3. I don't know what I was doing. I was subtracting there. 2x plus 3. Here, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, we don't have a v down here, so you're not going to subtract anything. So 5 divided into 10 is 2v squared. 5 divided into 5 is 1v. And 5 divided into 15 is 3. So that's mainly just dividing. Your variables were left alone. So when you have a variable in the denominator, that is really the hard piece, like in number 3. Let's look at 3. a goes into 8a cubed is a to the 3 minus 1. This one would be negative 2, because there's not a whole number, a to the 2 minus 1. This is a to the 1 minus 1, which is 0. So this becomes a squared. This becomes an a to the first power, and this becomes no a. So you just put your variables underneath it, and that's all you do. So that is your answer. Here, 8 goes into 40 5 times. X 2 minus 1. 8 goes into 8 one time. I don't know why I put 8. One time. And x 1 minus 1 is 0. So it's 5x minus 1. Because that becomes a 0, which makes that x a 1. So that would be like 1 times 1. So it just is 1. Let's look at 5. You're going to do it the same way. 3 goes into 18 6 times. C3 minus 1. 3 goes into 21 7 times, and you see a negative. C3 minus 1. 3 goes into 3 one time, and it's a plus. C minus C is 0. So we can just put a plus 1. So it's C squared minus 7C plus 1. Now here we have two variables right here, so you have to do each variable. Negative 2 goes into 6 negative 3 times. A would be 2 minus 1. B would be 1 minus 1 minus negative 2 into negative 12 is 6. A 1 minus 1. B 2 minus 1. So when we take A 2 minus 1, it gives you A. B is a 1, a 0, so you don't put anything for B. And then A is a 0 here, so it crosses out. This one crosses out, and it's B to the first. Sometimes I like to just cross these out so I know that they're no longer there. Okay? That helps me. Let's look at this one. Number 7. You see you have 5 goes into 20. Negative 4. X to the 2 minus 1 minus 5 goes into 5 one time. X and X is 0. So that is a crosses out. It's a 0. So it's 4x, negative 4x. You've got to make sure you have that negative there. Minus 1. Number 8, same thing. You have your negative, negative 2. So you have negative 2. X to the 6 minus 4. Y to the 3 minus 1. Then you have minus. Minus into minus is a plus 7. X 5 minus 4. Y 9 minus 1. So then we look at that. This is x squared. This is y squared. This is 1. And this is 8. And that's how you get that answer. Number 9, same thing. Negative 5 goes into negative 25. Positive 5. X to the 4 minus 1. 4 minus 2, sorry. Y, 3 minus 1. Negative 5 goes into positive 30. Negative 6. X, 2 minus 2, which that crosses out to 1. Y, 5 minus 1. So that gives us 4. So it becomes x squared, y squared, 6 to the x is 0, nothing, y to the 4th. You see why I exit out when it's 0? That helps me out. You can do number 10 by yourself to see if you get the answer. Number 11, you can do by yourself. See if you get that answer. Number 12, you can do by yourself. It's the same thing. Let's do number 13. You see you have a negative exponent, and this is where the change happens, okay? So let's look at this. We have negative 8. 3 goes into 24 8 times. X 7 minus 5. And that's the reason I like to do these over here, because it helps me to think about it. This is plus 3 goes into 9 3 times, and it's 3 minus 5, which is a negative 2. Minus 3 goes into 15, negative 5, x. 1 minus 5, which is a negative 4. Well, we know negative exponents have to go underneath. So what you're going to do to get rid of this, to do your final answer, you're not going to leave the negative exponents there. You never do that. You put it over 1. So it's negative 8x squared plus, put your 3 on top, x, and your 2 on the bottom, minus 5 and your x to the 4th on the bottom. And that's how you clean that up. You need to make sure you get that piece cleaned up when you have a negative exponent. I noticed on one of the last lessons that y'all wouldn't, when it was a negative exponent, you didn't put it over into a fraction form. Same thing on 14. You get 3x, and then you have at 5, because this is 3 minus 4, which is negative 1, and this is 2 minus 4, which is a negative 2. So you have to put these negative exponents over themselves. The whole number stays on top. The negative exponent, the variable, goes on bottom. Okay? 15 and 16 you can do on your own for practice. Let's go on to challenge, put it all together. This is when you have a division problem and a multiplication problem. You first are going to divide, and then you're going to multiply. So your steps in this is you're going to divide, you're going to multiply, and then you combine your like terms. So you do it in that order. So the first, you just follow your steps for multiplication, follow your steps on dividing, and follow your steps on combining like terms. And if you do step by step, you'll be okay. So we're going to take our 3x and put it into 5x squared plus x. So that would be 3 into 15 is 5x. 2 minus 1 is just an x. 3x into 6x is 2x. 1 minus x1 is nothing, so it crosses out. So you just have 2. 5x plus 2. And then you're going to multiply these. Remember the FOIL method. 5x times 2x is, so you're going to make sure you use the FOIL method. 5x plus 2x is 10x squared. 5x minus 1 is negative 5x. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So now you're going to combine these like terms. 10x squared minus x minus 2. And that's how you did number 17. You just followed the rules. You did your division rule, you did your multiplication rule with the FOIL, and then you combine like terms. Let's do number 16. You have 14. You have to distribute this, multiply this. You're going to multiply. You're going to multiply this one. Then you're going to do your subtract. So in this one, you're going to multiply, and then, so you're going to distribute the numerator. First, you've got to distribute this numerator. Then you're going to subtract, and then you're going to divide. So you're going to divide very last. You'll distribute, then subtract, and then divide. So what we would do is, this would be 14r to the 10th, because it's r7 plus r3 is r10, s3 plus so then you go -10 r6 because you have 3 plus 3, and then r8 plus 4 is 12. Subtract, you're just going to rewrite that just like it is. Then you're going to subtract these, and I subtracted these over to the side. And remember, you change the sign, so it equals 12r to the 10th, s to the 8th. You can only add and subtract like terms. 4r to the 6th, s to the 12th. And so then you have that right here. And now you're going to do your division piece, and you just divide. So 4 goes into 12, 3, 10 minus 2, s, 8 minus 4. Minus 4 goes into 4 one time, r 6 minus 2, s 12 minus 4 gives you 3r to the 8th, s to the 4th minus s, r 4, s 8. And that's how you do that one. Then number 19, it looks like this. You're going to multiply first. You're going to use the FOIL method. You're going to FOIL. And then you're going to combine your terms, the like terms, and then you'll divide. So you're going to multiply m squared n squared times n squared m is m4 n4, sorry. And then squared times 1 is m3 n3 minus here m3 n3. And you see that it's m first, then n, and then m squared, n squared, and it's subtract over mn. Then you divide. So when you divide this into this, 4 minus 1 is m3, n3. 2 minus 1 is mn. So that's all you do on that, is multiply using the FOIL, combine like terms, then divide using your division rules. Remember, multiplying, you add your exponents, and dividing, you subtract your exponents. And that's the main thing you needed to know. Remember from last unit, it's helping us do these problems. This one, you're going to multiply first using the FOIL method, okay? And then you'll divide. But before you divide, you need to combine like terms. So really, you would combine like terms. And then you would divide. So you get 20k minus 12k squared plus, because you're going to go inner outer, then the n and the last. Okay, first and last. So you start with the outer, and you go the first term, inner, then outer. Then the second term, inner, then outer. Okay, and then it's 20k for 12k squared plus 10k cubed minus 10k over 6k. Then you're going to subtract, which you see, this is 4 minus 1, which is 3. 6 goes into 20, 10/3. It would be 26, and then you can reduce. You can reduce 26 by 2. So it's 10/3 minus 2k, 2 minus 1 is k, plus, this is 3 minus 1 is 2, but 10 over 6 you can reduce to 5/3. And -6 would be 1, and k minus k is nothing, so that X's out, so it's -1. So that is your final answer, and you leave it just like that. And here, then you combine like terms again. So you have to combine like terms twice, sorry. So then you have to combine these like terms. So it's 10/3 k, not these two. Oh, you're not combining like terms, you're putting it in the right order. You have to order these. So this 3, and this is a 1, and this is a 2. So you need to put the 2 first, then the 1, and then the 1. Sorry about that. Okay, so for homework on this lesson, what you're going to do is you're not going to do like everything because you're going to be doing the quiz also on this day. So on your homework, on homework 4, you're only going to do the even problems. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. So 2 through 24 only. Even, okay? Even. Make sure you only do the even ones. If you want to do more, that's up to you. Then, I want you to do the quiz 7. You're going to do this. This is due Thursday. Also, you're not going to do that many problems. Thursday, you're going to do this quiz. What is it? April the 30th? You're going to do every other odd. Every other odd. What you're going to do, 1, 5, 9, 13. So on this page, all you're going to do is 1, 5, 9, and 13. That's all you're going to do on this page. Then on the other page, you're just going to do 17, 21, 24, and if you want to do the bonus for extra points, you can do the bonus. But you're just going to do 17, 21, and 24. So that's all I'm going to have you do on this. This is just going back through what we've learned on lessons. This is a quiz over lesson 1 through 4. And so this quiz will let me know if you're holding on to what you've learned so far. They will be 2 grades. So you'll get a grade on the quiz and you'll get a grade on your homework for this day. Okay? So you need the quiz, which is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. You can do 7 problems. Won't take you that long. And you're limited on your homework. I cut your homework down so that you would be able to do just the homework piece also. You don't have as many problems either. You only have 12 problems instead of 24. So that should conclude Thursday. Have a good weekend. Thank you.